On tonight's news, we regret to inform you of the death of the world-renowned artist Pierre-Auguste Renoir, dead at age 73. Coming up, a segment dedicated specifically to his life and artistic pieces. We'll be back after these messages. Tonight is Renoir's biographer, Emily Copeland.
Glad to be here.
So Emily, what can you tell us about his early life?
Well, he was born on February 25, 1841, and he reportedly died on December 3, 1914. He was born in Limoges, France, but grew up with his family in Paris.
Was he survived by anyone?
Yes, he was survived by his younger brother, Edmund, who happens to be a journalist. His father, a tailor, his mother, a dressmaker, both superseded his death.
Did he live anywhere else during his life as an artist?
He traveled around all of Europe in search of inspiration, but he mostly lived in and around Paris, and then by 1907, cognates in there.
Did he always want to be an artist, or did he have something else in mind while he was young?
Art has always actually been a big part of his life. When he was just 13, he became an apprentice to M. Levy, who noticed how skilled he was at drawing.
What did Levy teach him?
Well, he learned much about technique, but spent most of his time with Levy painting plates.
And after that?
Renoir went on to decorating fans with his older brother. While he wasn't being taught by anyone how to improve his skill, he was able to actually nurture the skills he already had.
Interesting. So we all know that the Louvre is located in France. Was Renoir able to see some of the older art there?
Actually, yes. When he was young, he visited the Louvre quite often. Some of the artists there, such as Boucher, Watteau, and Fragonard, influenced his own works later on.
Did he ever receive any kind of education to be an artist?
Unfortunately, he lacked any form of full traditional training to be an artist, but he did study in Charles City in 1852. During his time, he met many famous artists such as Sisley, Basile, and most notably Monet.
Wow, he had big shoes to fill. Monet is a legend.
Exactly. Being around so many experienced artists is most likely the source of Renoir's nervous behavior. 6 years after this day, we see influence of other famous artists, including Monet and Courbet.
Sounds like there was a lot of talented artists during Renoir's time. Was he as famous an artist as they were?
Again, no. He was repeatedly rejected from salons.
Salons?
They're similar to art exhibits. He didn't get accepted into one of those until 1867 with his portrait Lise.
And Lise was his girlfriend at the time, correct?
Yes.
So what can you tell me about his style of art?
Well, his style of art reflected the Impressionist movement that he joined in 1874, which was led by Monet.
Impressionist movement?
It was a time period during the latter part of the 19th century. Artists focused on the viewer's first thought or impression of an object.
What part did Renoir play in this movement?
He's considered to be one of the main figures in the entire Impressionist movement.
Wow.
He was definitely an amazing artist. His work wasn't well received in the 1880s, however.
How come?
He tried to stray from Impressionism and proved he could paint with a more disciplined style. It was a complete failure, and the works produced during this time are considered to be his worst.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, he should have just stuck to his roots. Thankfully, he found his way back and produced some of his greatest works in the late 1880s, such as The Young Girl Reading, Music Lesson, and Sleeping Bathing.
Well, we're about out of time. Thank you for speaking with us today, Emily.
No problem.
We'll conclude this segment with a closer look at Renoir's art, which will be compiled by Bradley Jackson. That concludes our program for tonight. Catch us next time. To end our show, our philosophy of the day. If time is money, does that make an ATM a time machine? The answer tomorrow at 8.